An event occurred last week, unremarked upon, which amounts to a serious setback for the quest for international criminal justice. The ANC, the African National Congress, in South Africa, at its annual meeting, voted to withdraw from the International Criminal Court. Now, the International Criminal Court, of course, is the vehicle that indicts venal villains who have committed crimes against humanity, war crimes, or genocide. The African National Congress constitutes about 60% of the seats of the South African Parliament, so you can be sure that in the next few days or the next few weeks, the South African Parliament will formally withdraw from the International Criminal Court. Now, they say they have three reasons for doing so. First, that the great majority of the indictments which have issued from the International Criminal Court, in fact almost exclusively, have been registered against Africans. They don't bother to say that other Africans have asked that Africans be indicted, but apart from that quibble, they have a point. It has been exclusively Africans who've been indicted. Number two, they say, the African National Congress and others from African countries, that there are many outside Africa who should be indicted. They point a figure at Tony Blair and George Bush. And of course, there's a fellow named President Assad of Syria who is blood-drenched with war crimes, crimes against humanity, and genocide, and is outside the scope of the court at the moment. And then the final point they make is actually one that's difficult to counter. They point out that the Russians and Chinese and Americans, who are permanent members of the Security Council, have never ratified the International Court statute. And yet they have the right to refer cases to the International Criminal Court for indictment and prosecution, and that seems a dreadful double standard. So what is the ANC saying as an alternative? Well, they're going to establish or support the establishment of an African court to try criminals who have committed war crimes, crimes against humanity, and genocide. But there is one travesty associated with this new court as it evolves, and that is that the statute for the new court apparently will include a provision granting immunity to present and future heads of government and heads of state. What a farce that will be when you consider people like al-Bashir or people like Mugabe. The International Criminal Court has been really important, but as things now stand, if South Africa proceeds as seems likely, it opens the door to the gradual erosion, some would say the death, of the International Criminal Court. That was last week. I'm Stephen Lewis.